Welcome back to my channel. My name is Kamanzi Constable. Here we talk about business, life, travel, and trending topics. I'm very glad you're here. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification so that you can get all of the notifications when I drop new content. My goal is to give you practical content that will help you build every part of your life and business. So I want to talk about PR, I want to talk about features, contributorship, and I want to talk about paid for opportunities. So let me turn on the screen share here. Now, the purposes of this live isn't to take a shot at anybody. It isn't going to be to drag anybody or anything like that. The purpose of this live is to educate consumers on what's real and what's manufactured. And for those of you that are interested in paying for PR, this is to help you decide what's actually worth your money and what's not going to be worth your money. So I kind of want to show you what's going on behind the scenes when it comes to features and PR and kind of some of the things that we see going on in the internet marketing space. Now, first, when people want a feature in a publication, this is exactly what they're looking for. So here's Cindy, who is featured in Forbes. And what you'll see here is it's a full feature. You can see a direct link to her website in the article. This is Forbes. If you'll notice, this is not Forbes Coaches Council. So the Coaches Council is a program that people pay for to contribute to a third party platform. It's not actually Forbes. But if you look at Stephanie, my friend Stephanie here, she's a contributor, an actual contributor to Forbes Women. She's a contributor here. And you see this feature, it's a full feature on Cindy in the article. This is what most people want when they want a feature. However, this is not what most features are. Most features are just simply a couple lines in an article. They're getting mentioned in an article with a bunch of other people. So here's an example of a full feature. Now, here's an example of me, who is a contributor to Entrepreneur. So if you went to Entrepreneur, you would see my profile on Entrepreneur. You would see that I'm a VIP contributor, all the articles that I've written on Entrepreneur. Well, here is an article that I wrote on 9 emerging podcasts that you should listen to. Here's another article that I wrote on 6 books, business books that you consider. Now, let me tell you what happens in our space, in the internet marketing space. Somebody, and I'm not saying anybody in either of these 2 articles did this, but I'm just saying in general, somebody will get featured in an article like this: business books, podcast, business coach. And then all of a sudden you'll see all over social media, Forbes magazine's #1 business coach, Entrepreneur magazine's #6 book, yada, yada, yada. And the consumer sees it, and who knows what they think. They might think, hey, that they got endorsed by Entrepreneur, they got endorsed by Forbes. Now, here's the truth behind it. I am a contributor at Entrepreneur. I do not work for the staff. I'm not paid by the staff. I'm not directly connected to Entrepreneur. I'm an outside contributor. So when I am writing about 6 books or I'm writing about 9 podcasts, it's not Entrepreneur endorsing those podcasts or those books. It's me as an outside contributor. And what do you see here when you see on any article on a publication? Opinions expressed by contributors are their own. If you looked at that article where Cindy was featured, right here it says opinions expressed by Forbes contributors are their own. So that is not Entrepreneur saying, hey, these podcasts are what you should listen to, or these books. And it's not Forbes endorsing Cindy. It's the contributor. It's the contributor doing it. It does not count as Forbes #1 business coach or Entrepreneur's #1 whatever, unless it is done by somebody that is on staff. Now, here's the flip side. Here's what it actually looks like when a publication endorses you. There's an article about Maria Sharapova, and it is written by Jason Pfeiffer, who's the editor-in-chief of Entrepreneur. It says right here, if you went to the profile, you would see that it's Entrepreneur staff. That's what it says right there. So when Jason Pfeiffer, who's on staff, who's the editor-in-chief, is writing about Maria Sharapova, it is actually endorsed by Entrepreneur. Or here's another example of this. Forbes 30 under 30. You may have heard of this, but if you looked at Forbes 30 under 30, what you'll see here is this entire article is put together by the staff of Forbes. So when you went and you looked at each of these categories and you looked at each of the people that's mentioned here. So here's Marquise Brownling, who has MBKHD on YouTube, very good channel, YouTube channel. You see he's listed as a social media influencer here. He's endorsed by Forbes. This is the editors at Forbes. This is them publishing this article. This is them talking about him as a YouTuber and all these other YouTubers. He could go out and say, you know, Forbes magazine's #1 social media influencer or whatever. Why? Because it was written by the publication. It was written by their editors. It was written about people that are on staff. So when we see this in our internet marketing space, this, hey, I'm the #1 whatever at Forbes, or the #6 whatever at Entrepreneur or Business Insider or whatever, evaluate who actually published the article. Was it somebody on staff, or was it just one of the contributors at that publication? If a contributor, it's not endorsed by the publication. It's endorsed by that contributor. And as you saw, all opinions of the contributors are their own. So if you go back and you look at that article that I wrote here about books, none of these authors, not that they have, but none of them can say that they were endorsed by Entrepreneur, because why? This is just my opinion. I'm an outside contributor. I don't work for Ford staff. Now, what you typically see is this. This is what you see a lot of in our space now. This is pay for PR, where it's the top 10 coaches, the top 10, this or that, and it's done by a press release. Again, this is just the opinion of this agency. This is just the opinion of the PR company. It's not actually Yahoo Finance endorsing this. This is just a sort of a pay-to-play situation. Not that everybody on here paid, but this is a situation where there was a press release paid to go in the classified section. This is not Yahoo Financing endorsing those people. So when you see situations like this, know exactly what's going on. If you are somebody that wants a feature, getting a feature honestly is as simple as finding a contributor that writes regularly at a publication, emailing that contributor and saying, hey, I see that you wrote about reasons why businesses haven't grown in the pandemic. Here's some other perspectives for you to consider. Would you be open to featuring me in your article? And as a contributor, I have the power to do that. I can do that. I can feature somebody in the article if I wanted to. That's what getting a feature is about. Now, PR agencies, that's exactly what they do. They go to contributors and they say, I have somebody for you. They can contribute to the article. That's exactly what they do. But what you don't want is you don't want the paid for manufactured situations where you're paying to get a press release in the classified section of Business Insider, Yahoo, and then you're going on social media saying you're the #1 business coach, this or that. That's not what you want. That's a paid for manufactured situation. And the consumer is going to know that it's manufactured. And when they figure it out, it's going to kill your credibility. So for those of you that are interested in getting features, find a contributor, tell the contributor why they want to, why they should think about you. Or if you're going to hire a PR agency, make sure that the PR agency has relationships with actual contributors and they're not just paying for press releases, because that's not going to do anything for your business. And if you are going to pay for some PR, just do your homework. What are the other features look like that this agency has done? Is it a lot of paid for classified sections, or is it actually legit features? So as long as everybody knows what's going on and you'd make an informed decision from there, then hey, we're all adults. We all got to do what's best for our business. But I want to pop on here for my live today, and I want to talk about the difference, and so that everybody knows what's going on in each of these situations. So Commodity Constable here. I hope that helps you understand PR, features, contributorship, paid for situations. Do what makes sense for your business, but it's time for us to have authentic conversations about social proof and PR and what's going on in our industry.